episode, and not just any episode, the lovely, the glorious number 10, episode 10. So great to have you guys here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Odell, bright and early. I see you, my good friend. I hope you're having an awesome day, getting ready to kick off the backside of the rest of this week. I know it's going to be a really fun one for myself. If you have any cool plans or just plans in general, whether you think they're cool or not, that you want to share, make sure to throw them down in the comments. I always love to see what everybody's up to. Because, sometimes you guys throw out some really cool things. Donald, nice to see you as well. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. I see our friends are coming in slowly but surely. I feel, does anybody else feel, and maybe it's just me, is it just one of those days where it's like, at this point, I feel like I need a nap, but it's also later in the afternoon, so it might as well just go to bed early kind of vibe. I'm feeling it right now. Kyle, great to see you. Thanks so much for being here. John, great to see you as well. How are you guys doing? What have you been up to today? Let me know in the comments. For me personally, a lot of my day has been revolving around packing and getting stuff together for our trip to Iowa this weekend, which is super exciting. Odell, I'm jealous that you have already had your nap today. I did not take one. Because like I said, I'm aiming for probably an earlier bedtime today, but I'm jealous. I'm jealous. Are you guys the type of people where like you can nap for a little bit, get up, and you're like, wow, I'm refreshed? Or are you, I went down and now I'm having a hard time getting back up. I feel like I flip-flop. Some days, like a little 20-minute true power nap does wonders, and there's other times where my body actually just wants to go to bed, and that never ends well. The day does not get back on track after that. So I'm always curious to see which side everybody falls on. Jim, great to see you. John Buchanan from North Carolina, having a great day. I hope you are having a good one as well. It's been a beautiful day today. Got in a good workout. It was kind of warm outside, which was okay. Took the dogs out, a little trip around the neighborhood and stuff. And like I said, I've been getting stuff ready for our big trip to Iowa this weekend, which I will say, because I've gotten some questions, y'all have been like, oh, Iowa, where are you playing in Iowa? And unfortunately, this is a work trip, but not one that means that you guys get to be entertained in person. I'm actually heading out to a conference out there for all the fairs and festivals in Iowa. So hopefully we will walk away being able to entertain you guys in Iowa in 2024. So it's going to be a really great time. It's a weekend long event. So we're really, really excited to be a part of it for the first time this year and seeing what it's all about. And like I said, hopefully getting to, especially so, come out to Iowa next year and be able to entertain you guys with some really cool events that we haven't played before. Let's see. James, great to see ya. And Kyle, I'm glad I'm not alone on the kind of groggy vibe today. Says I drove halfway around Florida today. What does that look like? What was the time commitment that you put into that? Like, are we truly talking about like halfway? Like, did you go south, or I guess north if you're coming up from the south? I'm not sure where it is that you're coming from, but either which way, how much time did you put into that trek today? I would love to know. Because I have not yet had the pleasure of going from the top of Florida down to the southernmost part of Florida to know what that drive is like. But I have been through Texas on the 10 from the east to the west or vice versa. And that is a haul of epic proportions. And I imagine that it's kind of similar with Florida, except you're just going north to south instead of east to west in that regard. Donald says, you've been putting up Christmas lights. Is it going well? How much do you deck the halls? Are you just like a simple kind of decorator? Do you going to go halfway? Are you full out like we are? I'm always curious, and this can go for anybody. What sort of holiday decorators are you? Are you like a minimalist, or are you a maximalist, or are you just normal? You can fall under any of those umbrellas here when we're not judging at all. No name. Why do we have no name? It just says hi. Oh, Scott from South Carolina. If I read the rest of the comment, I would have seen that. Scott, nice to have you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And John, Cowboy John, thank you so much for reminding everybody that if you are a fan of these episodes and you just love what we do here on the internet, make sure to subscribe. And of course, look at you going the extra mile. Hit the little bell notification so that way you get notified, especially so when I go live. And of course, post new videos up here on YouTube. Odell says it's going to be in the 50s where he's at for the rest of the week. That must be nice. See where we're heading to? We're going to be in Des Moines, so it said it was approximately low 50s, high 40s as the high, and then in the 20s for the low. So if that seems right for any of my Iowa peeps, give me a little heads up. Or if it's not right, and you guys know from experience that it's going to be different, leave a comment, because I have to finish packing and I want to make sure I'm well prepared. And Stan, a happy holidays to you as well. It's that time of year. What sort of holidays are you guys celebrating? I know not everybody here celebrates Christmas with us. So if you are celebrating Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or anything like that this season, I would love to know what it is that you guys are celebrating. And Alexandra, I'm so sorry that you're feeling sick right now. It's that like cold and flu season, and I feel every time anybody tells me that they've come down with something. Out here, it tends to be apparently more of the flu, but I know the cold's making its little spicy rounds as well. So I hope you get to feeling better soon, and lots of fluids, take your vitamins, all that sort of good stuff. And Kyle, to answer my Florida question, he said it took about 5 hours. I went west first, then east to the beach side. Okay, so you went this way. Okay, we did not go this way. When you said halfway around Florida, my brain just immediately jumped to that big ol' north to south run. But you're talking this way, which is still a good chunk of time. But yeah, 5 hours, I gotta say. And then to go back, you deserve a nap. You deserve a nap as well. Alrighty, let's see. Oh, and Jaron says another Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Great to have you here. Thanks so much for tuning in. I love seeing like newer faces in here. And you might not be new, but this might be your first time commenting, and I love to see it in the comments. This is such a warm and open and happy community that I hope everybody feels comfortable leaving a comment if they feel inclined to do so. Again, I always like to see who's all in here. I can see a number in the top corner that tells me how many of us are hanging out. But if you guys don't leave a comment, I unfortunately have no idea who exactly is hanging out here with us. So if this is your first time watching, or maybe you've never left a comment before, drop a comment so we can give you a nice, warm, and proper welcome. Oh, Joshua, you're asking the real questions here today, and that is, did you get your Christmas wrapping done? No, she has not. I have been just nose deep in prepping for this Iowa trip that unfortunately wrapping has fallen a little bit to the wayside. Some of it got done. The rest of it did not. I'm not anticipating it to take me forever to get through, but there's still some work to be done. So John Buchanan asks, do you have other family members that play in a band? What got you started doing music? So, fun fact, absolutely nobody in my family is musically inclined or was musically inclined prior to me being interested in doing music. For me, I've always had a love for performance and the performing arts in general. Didn't matter what side of the spectrum it was on. So from a very young age, I always was interested and got myself involved in activities that allowed me to learn more about it. I started my music education when I was about, I want to say 9. Thanks to the school band program that we had. I was a trumpet player growing up, so I started my my venture into music through that, and then I had experiences with choir and talent shows and doing those sorts of things growing up until eventually I ended up meeting a fantastic mentor of mine by the name of Brian Cuban, and he really helped me as a young artist to learn the industry and start writing music and producing stuff, which is how I have gotten to where I am at today. He also was really pivotal in helping me establish my very first band, and I've taken the reins on that and moved it forward ever since then. So it's one of those things where it's like, it's a journey, and it just has grown over time. So that's kind of long story short to say how I got into music and how I started my band and everything. But definitely a pioneer as far as that goes in the family for doing anything music and arts related. Let's see, John, will you go live for a little bit this Friday at your event, or is it private? It is a private event, so I am not able to go live, which is why I have for the last a little over a week now, I've been talking about how I'm not going to be able to do a Facebook Friday live, which breaks my heart because obviously, especially in December, we only get so many together before the big Christmas extravaganza broadcast and all that sort of good stuff. So I know some of y'all, just like I am, are a little upset that we get cut short on some of the holiday music, but I promise I'll make it up to you guys. Actually, I did some newer Christmas music for y'all at the Instagram live that I did yesterday. So if you are a fan of the song Mary Did You Know, I played that in yesterday's Instagram live broadcast, which is up for replay. So you can catch that over there on Instagram at Ashley Wineland Music and take a listen to that. And of course, we have next Friday, and then the Friday after that is the Christmas extravaganza Facebook Friday Live, which is December 22nd to kick us off into that holiday weekend. That's nothing but holiday music. So I'll play you guys some of your holiday favorites that you've heard already, some new ones that we haven't done yet. It'll just be everything, right? Decorations, tour, we'll talk about all things good and holiday based. And of course, like I said, the music from start to end will be nothing but holiday tunes. So it will definitely make up for the fact that we have to miss out on this Friday's broadcast. So if you're a little sad like I am, don't worry, because as always, there's 4 live streams that you guys get every single week. So coming back next week, you'll have the 2 on Tuesday, the TikTok and the Instagram. You'll have this one on Wednesday, and then you will have a Facebook Friday Live. So lots of opportunities to hear the live music, to engage with some holiday tunes and all that sort of good stuff. And Daniel, I'm glad you like listening to my little stories about how I got into music and some of my adventures that I've been on this crazy journey that is my music career. So I love sharing it with you guys. I'm always flattered when you ask me questions about stuff like that. Part of what I love about this broadcast is the fact that we get to sit down and get to know each other better. Obviously, I tell you little tidbits about myself, but you guys are always so wonderful to leave little pieces of your life in the comments as well. And I think that just makes it really special to just all like wrap it up and put it together and really make this a community, which is truly what it is at the end of the day. Jim says, I hope you're flying, because if not, you'll need to rehide your gifts if you're not done. I am flying to Iowa, if that's what you're wondering. But I have them, the ones that are not wrapped are well hidden. And if anybody dares to look at them while I'm gone, it's not going to end well. It's not going to be pretty. And at that point, they're just going to get them as is. I'm not even going to wrap them at that point. Because if you know what it is, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, that's all the fun, is the sparkle of like, oh, what did you think of to get for me? This like special little thought out moment right here. I always think it's really fun to see everybody's reactions to what you get for them, especially the ones where you're like, ooh, I know this will be really good, or it's tied to some little memory or reference that only they're gonna get. I think those are some of the best gifts that you can have. Hello to Kiki. Great to see ya. I hope you're doing well today. Kyle says, I always wanted to get into band, but I never did. I gotta say, if you have somebody who's young and going through school and has the opportunity to even just try music, I don't think it hurts anything to try, to just get out there, see what it's like. Do you jive with it? Do you not? If you have like an interest, just like go, and this goes for anybody, just try it. you can try it, and if you find out that you don't actually really like it all that much at the end of the day, then you're like, okay, well, at least I tried. But if you have an interest and you never tried and you just sit there and I wonder what it would always have been like, then, you know, I feel like we're all just kind of doing ourselves a disservice by not kind of at least testing the waters and trying to kind of pursue anything that interests us. So, hey, if you ever have the opportunity to go play some music or go learn how to do, you know, something music related, I say go for it. Don't be scared, just try it. You never know. There are some people who get into playing instruments. I was talking at the last conference that we went to in South Dakota, and we were talking about how this one gentleman that this lady knew was 83 years old and got into playing banjo. And in 2 years' time that she had been teaching him banjo, you would have thought that this guy had been playing banjo his whole life. And just the joy that it had brought to them and that they shared it with other people was just a super cool story to hear. So you never know what passions you might find just by like saying, hey, I think it's cool. I'm just gonna like jump into it and give it my best shot. I love those sorts of things. And like I said, I think stories like that are just proof that just live without fear. Just give it a shot. And if you fail, you fail. Or if you don't like it, you don't like it. And at least you can say you tried at the end of the day. Let's see, scrolling. John Sidari. There they are. There they are, everybody. Round of applause in the comments. They show up every single time. Every single time. I feel like we need a name. We need a name for Ricky Road Racer who likes to come blasting down the street during the broadcast. So if you guys want to dub our fun little loud and obnoxious friend who comes like flying down the street, I'll leave it up to you guys. What do we want to call them? Because I feel like at this point, it's become, unfortunately, a staple in the broadcast. So I feel like we need to give them a name. Let's see. John Sidari says, Cardinals, Steelers, and Browns are going to win this week. I certainly hope so. I would love another Cardinals W in the books. They're my team through and through, and I would love to see them just start to really drive and thrive. But yes, I hope for everybody else your teams do well. Unless your team is playing against the Cardinals, then I don't. But that's only for this week, and the rest of the time, you know, may they be successful in all that they do. But until then, we're not enemies, we're just competitors, okay? Let's see, scrolling. Sorry, y'all, my brain is trying to catch up with everything. I like the shake and bake. I love all these names that are coming in for our friend. Glendale Roadrunner. And I like the Volkswagen Bugs making itself known again. Like I said, I just love the idea that that's what it is. Glendale Roadrunner's fun. Shake and bake is fun. I'm loving these ideas. Keep them coming in. Odell, and yeah, just like clockwork, you know, I don't know where they're going. I don't know what they do. But hey, every time 5 o'clock, 5:30-ish rolls around, they're making an appearance. Let's see. I like that we're all agreeing with the Glendale Roadrunner. I think that's a great fit. David asks, Ashley, who in country music, from a female artist standpoint, would you like to duet with? And somebody that you've never done one with. I would love to have a moment like Carrie and Miranda did, where it's just a super powerhouse duet, like Something Bad. I love that song. And it's two of my favorite women in country music, just absolutely tearing it up vocally. So obviously either Carrie Underwood or Miranda Lambert would have both been fantastic options for this question. But I mean, I have so much respect for so many different women in the genre that honestly, the pleasure of being able to perform with a multitude of them would bring me so much joy. If you want to go as old school as, you know, Dolly or Jody Messina, Pam Tillis, Martina McBride, like go back to some of the big powerhouse divas of the last like few decades, it would just be awesome. So Yeah, lots of really great artists out there who I feel like would fit that question. It's a little hard for me to narrow it down to one, but those are some of my options if I had to pick. Let's see. Kyle, the biggest star I've performed with, I guess if I've played with so many that like were just humongous stars in their own right. And the cool thing about it is they all were like huge in different eras of country music. So like I've opened for the Bellamy Brothers, who totally rocked the house like in the 70s, and of course are still around to this day, just knocking the roofs off so many different venues. Sawyer Brown, who I believe was like late 80s, early 90s, total powerhouse band. They still rock it to this day. I've had the pleasure of opening up for John Michael Montgomery and Eddie Montgomery, who were 90s, early 2000s powerhouses. Like, I think the scale of just biggest is crazy. I guess now, if I'm thinking about it, at this point in time, if we're talking current biggest stars that I've worked with, Lainey Wilson is at the top of that. Entertainer of the Year for the CMAs and all that sort of stuff, like accolade after accolade down the list right now. She's totally rocking it. And so at this point, if I had to put a title on who's the biggest one that I've played with thus far, I think she holds that title for sure right now. But I've definitely had the pleasure of playing with some really fantastic acts who were major stars in their own rights and in their own times. So let's see. I love how everybody's getting on me about rapping. Thank you. I know. I told you guys, I have this like goal of wanting to just have stuff done by a certain time, and I'm getting there, but I haven't totally executed on that yet. And let's see. Yes, for everybody asking, I am traveling this week to Iowa, so that's going to be a lot of fun. You'll be seeing some stuff all over social media about my trip there. It's currently not snowing, and we're hoping it stays that way. But if it does, you best believe I'm going to be taking pictures and video for you guys. Is it white where you're at? Do you have snow on the ground? I would love to know. I'm personally a fan of just visiting the snow and then coming back to the valley where it's a little bit warmer. But if you are having a white Christmas, or at least you're on track to having a white Christmas this year, let me know down in the comments where that's at and all that sort of good stuff. And if you are snow fans, what is your favorite snow activity? Are you skiers? Are you snowboarders? Are you just like a snowball fight and, you know, kind of hang out in the snow kind of person? I'd love to know. Everybody's got so many different like traditions and things that they do, especially even on a regional, local level, that it's always fun to hear what everybody has to say. And Jim, I can't unfortunately properly answer your question as I'm very much behind right now on the current season of The Voice. However, I have seen that recent performance video of Ruby Lay from Missouri. Holy cow, the Linda Ronstadt cover that she did, absolutely beautiful. So if you are a fan, I totally 100% agree with you on that. And of course, being Team Reba, I think like just makes that one even better. It was a beautiful, beautiful cover. Let's see. Making sure that we get to see everything. And yes, thank you for all of the likes and the comments. And of course, if you have shared this broadcast with anybody who will enjoy it, thank you so much for that as well. It's always great to see our community grow every single week. And of course, if you are not able to catch us live and you want to catch the replay, or you are watching the replay right now, thank you so much for doing that. It's always great. And of course, I want to remind you guys that, listen, you guys leave so many wonderful comments here during the live stream. And YouTube is at least cool enough for a while to leave the live stream comments in its own little section off to the side of the video if you're looking at it on a desktop. But those comments don't totally contribute to all of the like algorithm and stats that really help this video succeed after it's up for replay. So I just want to kindly ask, if you do enjoy this show and you want to support it a little bit on the extra mile, after this goes live for replay, if you would just go into the comments and comment what your favorite talking point was, or your favorite question is, or just something funny down in the comments, I would so greatly appreciate it. All right, let's see. No snow, but we do have some snowboarders in the group, and I see that we have some other snow sports. Let's see. Joshua says, would you like to sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl? I've thought about this before, and honestly, I would be kind of excited to do the national anthem. Obviously, that's a huge performance of that, and something that I always have loved about the national anthem and take very seriously every time I go to perform it is the honor of it, and the fact that it is such, what's the word I want to use? It's a song that carries a lot of weight and a lot of meaning to so many different people in so many different ways. So I bear that in mind every time that I get to perform the national anthem. Being able to do it on a stage like a Super Bowl would just, I think, be really beautiful and a huge honor to be able to do right by that tune for everybody. So maybe one day, we'll get a little national anthem performance up there. I hope I do get the pleasure of at least being offered it, if nothing else. Let's see. Have fun in unpredictable Iowa. Take a huge coat. I live in Missouri, but I'm from Iowa. Thank you. Yeah, it should be a really fun weekend. Like I said, our goal is to go out there and meet some really wonderful people and fairs and festivals and events out there. And of course, hopefully get the opportunity to come out and play at those events in Iowa for 2024. So, and Ralph, thank you for the well wishes and stuff for my trip. I appreciate that so very much. And John, I definitely agree. It would certainly be cool to be asked to do that performance. Joey says, hi, Ashley. I'm watching you from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Love your music. So great to have you, Joey. Thank you so much for tuning in and all the way from Winnipeg, Canada. I love to see that. What is it like up there right now? I personally have never had the pleasure of making it onto the other side of the Canadian border. I've gotten real close to it. We did some really fun shows in North Dakota this year. That took us very close. I think at one point we were only 5 miles away from the border, but unfortunately I've never had the pleasure of crossing over and especially performing on the other side. Hopefully we get to change that here sooner rather than later, but I always love to hear from my Canadian friends, so let me know, how is it all going up there in Canada right now? And I see we're all like commiserating about the snow and stuff. I see my Midwesterners and my East Coasters and stuff sharing your stories down in the comments. I just gotta say, I'm so happy to not have to deal with that on a consistent basis. That's why everybody flocks south for the winter, you know, just to get away from that for a little while. Let's see. And Jim, thank you for recommending the Mississippi Valley Fair in Davenport, Iowa. I will certainly see if they're at the event this weekend, but also take a look at it as well. As I always like to say, one of the best ways that you guys can help us get to you at your events or venues that host country music in your area is for you to go on to their social media pages or on their websites and leave them messages either through comments or through their messaging systems and just say, hey, we love Ashley Wineland, we love her music, we think she'd be a great fit for this event. You guys should consider booking her. And I have to tell you, the number of times that we have gotten shows thanks to just one of you guys going above and beyond to do that, it's stacking up. It is certainly stacking up. So for those of you guys who have done that, thank you so much for your support and lending your effort and help to helping us fill out our 2024 booking touring season. And John Buchanan, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week as well. And we will certainly be working hard to make it back to North Carolina next year. It's going to be a really fun touring season. As I always say, we are still working on our schedule, though I know I have teased you with some dates already, which are posted up on my website, ashleywineland.com. Or if you're a Bands in Town user, you can get all the details on Bands in Town right now. And of course, be notified when I have a show in your area when you give me a follow over on Bands in Town, which I think is the best part. Or if you want to travel for a show because you see that we're playing somewhere that you really have wanted to go, Bands in Town's a great resource for that, because when you go and look at that show, it'll recommend hotels in the area. It'll tell you all the price points. It'll recommend flights for you. It's literally got everything listed out. It is such an awesome resource, especially if you're a live music lover and you like to plan trips and stuff around concerts and all that sort of good stuff. I've know multiple of you guys have used it over the years to come out and see us, and of course join our followers over there as well. So if you want to go the extra mile, if you want that little extra help when it comes to finding out all the details with the shows, go give me a follow on Bands in Town. You certainly will not regret it. And Jaron says, would you ever do a show here in Virginia? We have a growing music, film, and TV industry here. I certainly would love to come and do a show in Virginia with you guys. Actually, in January, I will be doing another convention conference event in order to come and hopefully entertain some of you guys out that way. So we are certainly working on it, slowly but surely, chipping away, adding more shows to the 2024 schedule. And of course, probably more likely in 2024, I'll release my full date list for you guys. As you guys know, it's always a continuously growing thing. Even this past Rolling On tour season this year, we posted our original list and then it just got longer after that. So it's always continuously growing, even after we start posting all the cool little graphics with all the dates on it. So of course, I am excited here in the next handful of weeks to be able to announce to you guys more dates. But until all those details get locked in and stuff, unfortunately, I have to keep them locked in my heart and in my brain until I get the green light to tell you all the good details about them and where they're gonna be. January is gonna be a very, very fun month. Lots of stuff going on, lots of work going on. And that's all I can say about that. So I gotta tell you, it's hard doing 4 broadcasts a week just because I want to tell you guys everything. I hate keeping secrets. I'm so excited about the work that we're doing, and the fact that I can only tell you just very thinly describing, teasing, hype, word-driven kind of stuff about it. It drives me nuts. Because I wanna tell you everything. I wanna release the keys to the kingdom and just be like, look at the cool stuff we're doing, or the cool stuff that we have in the works. But that's not how this game works. And of course, I would also be doing you guys a disservice if I told you everything as it was happening, because I don't know about y'all. Everybody loves a good hype. We all love a good surprise. We all love the anticipation of something, and when it finally comes out, it's just that feel-good feeling, like, I've been waiting on this. It's been great. And Elon, I can't spill the tea. And Santa can bring me coal, and I will be sad about that. But you know what? When I do finally get to tell you, it'll make that coal worth it. It'll absolutely make that coal worth it, and the excitement that we're all gonna share together, super fun. And that's including new music announcements and stuff for the new year. So just saying, y'all are not gonna know what to do with yourselves in 2024, because there's so many cool things that we're working on. And I genuinely mean that with all my heart. I'm not just saying that as like a way of fluffing up ego or anything. It is truly gonna be a rock star kind of year. So I can't wait to take you guys on that journey. I feel like that's my favorite part about any time we have not just tour, but a new music era and projects and stuff to share with you, is being able to take you on that whole process from start to finish and everything in between, and all the behind the scenes, and just all the that's all the goodness in the world. It's coming. It's so coming. But right now we're in the prep and plan phase for all that goodness. So like I said, we keep it under wraps for now, but you'll know later. All right, let's see. I just want to make sure I'm not missing out. And Kyle, yes, there's going to be a lot of behind the scenes content going on Pins and Needles. Absolutely, Kiki. It's going to be a great, great year. And John says, I hope you can make it here in Northeast Ohio soon. I really want to meet you. I'd love to entertain you. It's been a couple years since we've had the pleasure of playing in Ohio. We had a great time the last time we were there. Actually, if I recall off the top of my head, we actually teamed up on an event with the Good Guys Custom Car Shows last time we were in Ohio, and I remember having a blast. We did it at the state fairgrounds and everything, and it was just a really, really lovely time. So I love you guys up in Ohio. I hope to be able to come and visit you this year. It's gonna, like I said, we're always working so hard to come and see as many of you guys as humanly possible. So, and I see more recommendations for venues in Ohio. So thank you so much. And as I mentioned earlier, if you guys reach out to those venues and tell them that you would love to see us on their musical lineup, that always helps a lot too. And oh, lots of really great recommendations. I love to see that. Love to see that. Well, guys, I just have to say, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I love seeing everybody come in here into the comments and just have a wonderful time chit-chatting back and forth about everything going on. I appreciate the well wishes for the travel that we have up ahead this weekend, and I hope that wherever your week is taking you, that you are happy, you are safe, and just overall having a wonderful and great time. And until next time, I will see you guys back here next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Stay safe, have fun, and I'll see you guys then. Bye.